Hello, my name is Opal Singleton. I am the president and CEO of Million Kids. Million Kids is an organization that combats human trafficking, sextortion, social media exploitation, and child pornography. I want to talk to you about an exciting but terrifying new trend in teenage internet communication, and it is called mass audience live streaming. It's really only been around about 6 months, and I've been following it, and I have it heavy on my heart. I want to share it with you, mom and dad, educators, law enforcement, everyone that I can. What is mass audience live streaming? Well, the three big ones are live.me, TikTok, and a new one called Like, Likee. So what are we talking about? Well, these apps change the way our kids communicate on the internet. So let me give an example. When we first started in internet communication, things like Facebook and even as Instagram and Snapchat and some of those, we pretty well knew who we were talking to. I remember when Facebook came out, parents were just horrified out there that our kids would talk to strangers or someone they didn't know. So they would literally like or unlike, friend, unfriend, and they would pick their friends and choose their friends. Those days are completely gone. What is happening is we literally are entering an era where our children will be able to talk to the entire world. Many of you are aware that I have written a book called Societal Shift, A World Without Borders and a Home Without Walls. And it's all about how next year, the year 2020, the entire internet will be connected around the world. It's a fascinating thing, more than 6 billion people being brought together. It will truly be the first generation in all of history that can reach the entire world, but the entire world can reach them. Now, it's like this great societal experiment. As kids go out there and they try these apps out, and they are absolute wizards. They can fix them and they can figure them out, and they can go on and play these complex games. And mom and dad are running along behind going, you be careful on that thing now. These kids know good and well we can't tell what they're doing, and we don't even know what questions to ask. Well, that's scary enough as it is, and that's why I wrote the book. But these new apps take this to a whole new level of mass audience live streaming. It started for me as I do a lot of research, and people who know me, I have been studying, researching technology and the impact on crime all across the US for nearly 10 years. I have tens of thousands of hours into studying it. And when I saw the app Live Me, I got really excited. You see, apps are not good or bad. They simply are an innate object based on how we teach our kids to use them. And so when I understood Live Me, basically you make a long form video, you send it out into the public, and you try to go viral. It's kind of a thing like America's Got Talent or like that. And if you're making that video in your home, they can tell where you live. And as it goes out there, they can talk back to you because it's connected to your mobile phone. So it was kind of an interesting concept. Now, there's some good uses for that. If you want to invent a new skateboard, let's say your kids invent a new skateboard, and they advertise it out there, they can reach tens of thousands of people, and people will come back and go, hey, does that come in red? And what happens if I order a truckload of them? Can I be a distributor? It can be very effective. But when a 9-year-old gets on there and starts twerking, that 9-year-old, first of all, does not have adult reasoning, so they're not able to understand that there are bad guys out there that might use that app to sexually exploit them. On top of it, 9-year-olds do not have cognitive thinking, and so they can't figure out what is going on. In this particular case, this 9-year-old was twerking. She drew a large crowd. They began to text back to her, offering her virtual currency. And 9-year-olds, well, they like to be liked. And so, they're giving her 20, and pretty soon they've got her top off. They got 50 virtual coins. And then by the time mom and dad walked in, she had 90 virtual coins, but more than 10,000 people have viewed her naked and twerking. I'm going to tell you that those are being freeze-framed and sold in the dark web on pedophile rings over and over and over to be drooled by absolute creeps. So is it good? Yeah. Can it go wrong? Absolutely. That's why I want you to understand how it's made. So why am I telling you this? Because TikTok is the next generation of this. It is simply a 15-second video that you shoot. They're a lot of fun. And one that's coming up behind me is Like, L-I-K, coming up behind TikTok, excuse me, is Like, L-I-K-E-E, L-I-K-E-E. So you make a short form video, about 15 seconds, and you shoot it out there and you want to go viral. You want to be famous. And so what happens is that this particular kind of technology reaches the entire world. There's no such thing. I keep hearing kids tell mom and dad, well, yeah, I'm on it, but I just talk to people I know. There is no such thing on mass audience live streaming. You make this app, it's geo-based, so they know exactly where you made it, if that's in your living room or your bedroom. On top of it, your profile is either on or off, it's private or non-private. You cannot be private if you're gonna go viral. But get this, what happens is literally the people that you're reaching out in the mass audience can text back to you. So think about how a pedophile is gonna handle this. All they have to do is sign up and wait. Your kid is 11 or 12, they're going through puberty, they're feeling their sexual oats. By the way, they're getting their sexual identity and their moral identity, and this will change who they are. They go out there, they sing, they dance, and they want to be famous, and this pedophile, he just simply comes back to her and says, hey baby, you're hot, let me get you a contract, send me more videos. More likely what they'll do is say, hey, let's meet on Instagram. The problem with that, mom and dad, is if you're not in the room when they're doing this, you'll probably never know that it happened. Number two, by the end of the year, most all your apps will be encrypted, and you may be able to see that she's talking or he's talking to someone, but you won't be able to read it. So it is truly mass audience live streaming. I looked at TikTok. Do you know in 6 months, as a Chinese-owned company, they became the largest app in the world. They beat out Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, and they did that in 6 months. And what is happening out there is that kids everywhere are trying it. I looked at the top 10 providers or makers of the video on TikTok. 8 out of 10 of them are in America. They average between 13 million followers and 26 million followers. So think about this, mom and dad. Your kid is 12 years old, they're 14 years old, and they have 500,000 followers, and they're not even in the top 50. Think about what it means for your kid to be seen performing in front of 500,000 people, and they don't realize all that pedophile has to do is reach back to them and compliment them. If they have 500,000 followers, I'm here to tell you that 5,000 of them are pedophiles that want to meet up with your kid. So while I'm scaring the socks off you, and if you're normal, this will scare you, what I want you to know is educate yourself, mom and dad. Follow Million Kids. That's M-I-L-L-I-O-N. Million Kids. Go to Facebook, hit like, find Million Kids, hit like. Follow us, and we will educate you on this. Share this YouTube with everyone you know. Buy the book. Go to millionkids.org and buy Societal Shift, A World Without Borders, A Home Without Walls. It's only $19. And you can educate yourself about how all of this works and how to keep your kids safe from predators. We are entering a whole new world. Every day these new apps come out. I spend hours studying them. Follow us on Million Kids and let us educate you. We've changed our world completely, and so is your child. We must make leaders of your children. How we teach this generation of young people to use technology with respect and responsibility will set the stage for all future generations, your children and your grandchildren. This is an important cause. Follow Million Kids on Facebook. Thank you for listening.